8.2, questions of quiz 2. First two questions. Number 1, are you allowed to configure multiple welcome files for Java web application? One Java web application, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Remember, in the web.xml, we can include a list of welcome files, a list, multiple. So the server will go through that list from beginning to end. The first one that matches, that means the file name, the server can find the physical file of the welcome file inside the server. Sometimes people put several possible file names there. They don't know which one can be found in the directory, in the context root, just several possible file names. Yeah. So definitely it is yes. Yeah. Second question, is it possible to map multiple URL patterns to one servlet? Yes. Okay, yeah. 2 ways configurations, we can do that. Yeah. We have the examples. So one way in the URL pattern, so in the web.xml, we can use, comma separated URLs. Yeah. Another in the annotation, remember, annotation, we have another way, use array, string array. We can provide multiple URL patterns. Yeah. All right. Question number 3, since annotations can also be used to configure servlets, we can use annotation type configuration to completely replace. You cannot do completely. Yeah. Here the thing is not completely. Yeah. Something you cannot do. Okay. Something you cannot do using the annotation way. Yeah. But I didn't talk about the details. What kind of things you cannot do? There are several. Yeah. Several. Yeah. Yeah. But now hard for me to give you some examples now. Yeah. Something related to security. Yeah. Security. Yeah. So we can do some security configurations in web.xml, but that kind of configuration very hard to do in the servlets. Yeah. All right. So that's false answer. Yeah. As Java program, do we need to call the service? No. We never need to call that. No. The server will call it. Yeah. And when this method is called, then based on your HTTP method, it will call do get do post method. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. And we know these two methods well. We need to write our code in these two methods. Yeah. So that's why most people, they never know this method exists or not. They never know that, if it exists or not. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Number 5, is it possible that we can send data to a servlet using both request line and request body? Answer is yes. Why? Because you can send the data in 2 places simultaneously. One is request line, as URL part, right? Yeah. URL part query string. Yeah. Query string. Another request body together. Yeah. I'll give you that example. Now, remember when I talk about the post method, there is one slide talk about sending two different types of data. Yeah, so that one. Yeah. The post part. The post. Yeah, I also show you how to send data using the post method. That part you can find. We put the data in these two places. So we can send. Yeah. So we use, these things. Yeah. Yeah. Both at the same time. Yeah. All right. Question number 6. All right. Which of following ways is correct for us to use print writer object? Send data back. Only text data only. Print writer, you cannot send binary data. Yeah, so not both. Yeah. Binary data, we need to use a binary type output stream object. Yeah. I didn't show you that object, but I mentioned that. In my lecture, I talk about that. So the print writer, when you see this print, readable, right? Yeah, something print out. So people you can recognize, so the data, details, printable, yeah. All right. So that's the text. That refers to the text content. Yeah. Binary, nobody can read the binary content. Yeah. All right. Question number 7. A JSP file in a Java web application never needs to be compiled, but can provide services interpreted. False. We need to compile. The server needs to compile. We cannot see it. The reason is that for our programmers, we can never see JSPs are compiled. Yeah. So that's why I asked this question. Yeah. For those who, because they never see this happen, so they will choose this way, but it's wrong. We know compiled because JSP will be translated to a servlet first. That servlet will be compiled. Yeah. Not interpreted. So in Java is a compiled programming language, not interpreted. Yeah. So you cannot change that. Yeah. All right. Number 8, we want to do data presentation. Yep. Which of following would be the should we use? Be careful. JSP presentation. Yeah. Servlets data processing. Yeah. Good for data processing. JSP good for data presentation. Java Beans good for data processing. Okay. Yeah, because in Java classes, regular Java classes, okay? So the strong part, data processing. Yeah. All right. Last 2 questions. Question number 9. Suppose my OBJ is a Java object in JSP. Is it legal to use JSP expression? Answer is yes. Now, I mentioned that in class. Now, it is expected to put a string here. Although it is an object, it could be a non-string object, right? We know any object has a toString method. toString method. Yeah. So when you do this, so Java will call the toString method. So it will generate some string, but may not be meaningful if you do not override this method. It may not produce useful information. Yeah. But it is legal. Yeah. No error message. Yeah. That's number 9. Last question. Number 10. How many? 9. 9 implicit objects. Yeah. In the notes, I list all 9 implicit objects. 4 commonly used. Right? Yeah. The first line. The commonly used implicit objects. Then the second line, 5 more remaining implicit objects, not commonly used, but in some very special situations, they could be used. Yeah. All right, so that's all the questions for quiz 2.